Hey guys, so this is our practice of animations and transitions, and this one should be kind of fun. It's going to be a trivia night presentation, and you'll notice when we actually do look at the directions that it's pretty lengthy. It's a pretty long one, so I'm going to take this video in probably two different parts, and you can already see your directions already broken apart into two parts. Alright, so let's look at our learning goal real fast here. Our learning goal for this particular lesson is that students will be able to use transitions and animations in combination with shapes and shape effects in PowerPoint 2016. So we kind of looked at animations and transitions in the last project that we did, but in this project I can definitely tell you're going to take them to the next level, and you're going to have to be pretty creative with your animations and transitions for this project, especially your shape animations. Your objective here is that students will complete a Trivia Night PowerPoint presentation and apply animations and transitions to the presentation, as well as troubleshoot slides with errors. Okay, so if you push the over arrow here and go to tile number 2, you'll see this is just a quick little YouTube video where they set up the project and they actually go through some of the things that I'm going to go through in my video tutorial. So you want to pause me right now and kind of watch this little 4-minute video about animating text and objects in PowerPoint 2016. Okay, and then when you hit the arrow over, you're going to see that this is direction part 1. Okay, and there's 14 steps to direction part 1. And I think part 1 is pretty solid. I've gone through this a few times. Part 2 might be a little bit shaky, but that's why I'm making this video, so hopefully I can spot any errors that I made while I was writing this project. Alright, so let's just kind of get started here. It says open the practice presentation. So let's go ahead and click right here and let's open up our practice presentation. It's going to say PowerPoint animation practice. Let's call it Trivia Night. Change the name to Trivia Night. And make sure you guys put it in your H drive. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put it on my desktop for right now. Boom. Great. And save. Now when it does download and open up here, you're going to notice that we get a little yellow bar at the top of our PowerPoint that says we need to enable editing. So make sure you do that, because right now you're in read-only mode, or you will be when you open up your presentation. Let's give this a second real quick. Okay, so you can kind of see at the very top here, you need to click Enable Editing, and once you do, you'll actually be able to edit this presentation. So let's go ahead and play the presentation and look and see what's going on here, because there's already some animations going on. There's some errors in the presentation that we're going to have to fix, and we're basically just going to have to finish it up. Right now we have 6 slides, and when everything is said and done, we're going to have 18. Alright, so let's just kind of play the presentation to see what's going on. So title slide, no animations, no transitions as of right now. You can kind of see here the answer is popping up with the question, and that's an error. We're going to have to fix that. Obviously, if we were giving this as an actual trivia presentation, we wouldn't want the answer to pop up. Same thing here. Answer pops in before the actual question even pops in. Nice use of animation and shape. All that is a circle shape filled with brown to make it look like a planet. And you can kind of see this is also a shape. This is a circle filled with, it looks like gold or yellow, and you can kind of see the effect on the shape. Hopefully you know what that effect is. It's a glow effect. And you can kind of see the use of shapes and shape effects to make it look like they are planets. Alright? Same thing over here. Look at the number 2. You should be able to see that this is an effect on this number, and we've played around with this effect. You should kind of know what that is. To me it looks like a little bit of beveling and a little bit of depth added to the bevel, or it might just be a shadow. I can't really see that close to it. So slide 3, question comes in, Saturn's ring as an animation, beautiful, and then the answer kind of pops in without a click, and we're going to have to fix that. Slide 4, question, very nice animation right there. And again, the answer pops in without a click, and we're probably going to want to change that. So this is this looks like a glow effect, and it looks like the shape is on a rotate shape effect, and it looks like they have looped that continuously until we click to the end of slide. So that's another effect we have not looked at as far as animations go. All right, so that's our presentation as of right now. Let's see what they actually want us to do to it. We can kind of see there's definitely some work to be done. All right, so on slide 2, select the text box that contains the answer Neil Armstrong and add a pulse animation from the emphasis group. Take that over here. All right, arrange my windows so that I can see stuff. On slide 2, select the text box that contains the answer Neil Armstrong. Add a pulse animation from the emphasis group. All right, so animation tab, and notice how when you shrink your presentation, your tools also shrink, and sometimes that will give you a headache. So sometimes you're going to need to kind of make your PowerPoint a little bit bigger, you know, even if you have to catty corner between the two windows, kind of like this. You know, I kind of need to see my tools. All right, so let's look for a pulse animation. It says from the emphasis group. Emphasis group is right here, and there's my pulse animation. Okay. All right. In the same text box, add a wipe animation from the entrance group. So it's not talking about changing the animation, it's talking about putting another animation on top of our pulse animation. And in order to do that, you're going to jump over here where it says add animation. Okay, and it says wipe from the entrance group. So entrance group, and we need wipe. All right. You should also, let's see if I gotta make this a little bit bigger. There. I don't know why I'm not getting my little numbers on my animation. That bothers me. I like to see that stuff. All right. Let's see if I can get that going. All right. So let's change the effect option so that it wipes from the left. All right. So under effect options, actually, I think I'm going to have to undo that real quick so that it wipes from the left. So I have my pulse on there. I'm going to say add animation, and I'm going to say wipe, but instead oh yeah, I can't look. It says it's on wipe right now. Okay, from left. So let's click on our text box now. Yeah, and when you click on your text box, notice how now under animations it actually says multiple. So when I added pulse and I clicked on my text box, it just said pulse. When I went over here to say add animation and I changed it to wipe, I can now check my effect options and say from the left. And then when you click back on your text box, you know that you have more than one animation on there because it actually says multiple. Okay? All right. Reorder the animations so the wipe animation will happen first. So whenever I'm reordering animations or doing anything, I have to open my animation pane. And it wants me to do the wipe animation first. And if you click on them, you can kind of see which animation you're working with. So I'm just going to take the wipe animation and click and drag and drop it right on top of the pulse animation. So now the wipe animation is first. I don't know why I don't see my little numbers on my animation over here, but you should actually see like a 1 and a 2 over here. All right. Change the start option for the pulse animation so that it starts after previous. So again, we need to find our pulse animation, and we need to change this to after previous. Okay, you can also come right down here and click your drop down and say after previous. All right, that means it's going to start after the wipe animation. So it's going to wipe first, and then this is going to start automatically after the wipe animation. That's what that means, after previous, after the previous animation with no click. Use the animation painter to copy your animation to the answer Mercury text box on slide 3. Okay, so before we actually do that, let's look at our animation now, because this was an error before. So let's play the slide. So now we have our question. We don't see our answer coming in until we actually click, and then it wipes from the left and then pulses, okay? And that's what we just did. All that work for that little bit of nothing. So this is kind of cool. You're going to click on your answer Neil Armstrong text box from slide 2, and so I don't have to keep doing the same animation to slide 3, to the answer text box on slide 3. I'm going to use something called the animation painter, and this is really cool. When I click on my animation painter, notice how my cursor now has a little paint brush on it, and I'm going to click on slide 3, and I'm literally just going to paint that there to this text box right here. So now it has that exact animation with that exact animation sequence on my answer for Mercury. And if you play it, I should now see the question comes in with a click, then the planet, and then I do have to click my mouse for the answer to come in, which is what I want. Okay? Alright. It says remove the animations from the text box on slide 3 containing what planet is closest to the sun. Alright, so again, I just kind of want to get rid of this animation. I want the question to appear on the slide before, without any clicks or anything, as soon as the slide comes in. So to get rid of the animation, you're just going to come up here and say none. Okay, click on the text box under the animations tab and say none. And now preview that slide. That's how it should look. And with one click, my answer comes in. Okay. So, Animation Painter doesn't get much cooler than that. And that's why, even though this presentation is 18 slides long, it's not going to take you a whole lot of time to throw this together. And I'm going to show you a few tricks to do that. Alright, so we're on number 9. Slides 4 and 5 have an error occurring in them. Evaluate these slides to fix the error. So let's look at slides 4 and 5. So nothing coming in without a click. Let me click once. Question comes in, animation happens. Alright, and then the answer comes in without a click as well. So let's look at slide 4. Nothing coming in without a click. Click once. We get our question, we get our cool animation over there. And again, our answer is popping in with no click. So hopefully you guys can spot the error in those 2 slides, because I'm going to kind of leave it up to you to figure that out and to fix it. Alright. Delete slide 6. Alright, so just click on it, press delete on your keyboard. It's as simple as that. Add a new slide and apply the background format from the previous slide to this new one. It's a challenge. Can you figure this out? Alright, so this is kind of formatting backgrounds, and we've gone over this before. Hopefully you can do this. So what I'm going to do is just go to the Home tab. I'm not going to show you guys how to do it though. I'm going to click on New Slide. Notice on my new slide I don't get my cool starry background that I have in this slide. Alright, but I need to actually make that happen on this slide. Can you actually make that happen? Alright, so the answer to my question for me obviously is yes, because this is my new slide 6. Yay! Alright, so see if you can do that. I'll give you a hint that it is under this design tab, and you can just kind of copy the background from one slide to another if you know how to do it. See if you can figure this out. Alright. Copy the number on the left-hand slide of slide 4 and paste it into your new slide. Update the numbers so they are in sequence. So it doesn't really have to be slide 4. You can grab it from any slide. So this is what it's talking about. So let's go ahead and right-click and say copy. Go to slide 6 and just press Ctrl-V on your keyboard and paste it right in there. Technically, this is now question number 6 because slide 5 is number 5, I believe. Oh no, I messed it all up. See, 3, 4. This should be 5. My bad. Alright, so now you can kind of see that we're matching the previous slide before it. Alright, add text boxes with questions and answers that would fit into the category, into the space category. The question is student choice. Alright, so this is where you actually have to come up with your own trivia question. And you can kind of match the 1 to the 4 that came before this and kind of come up with a space type trivia question. When you're done, just like the slides before it, you're going to add animations to the answer box, and you're going to add a shape with an animation to match the previous few slides. How creative are you? Make it look good. So I don't know what your question would be, but again, you're going to use shapes just like they used over here on their planets, and basically you're going to come up with an animation on your own particular slide right here. Okay, so I'll show you a quick example. Alright, so let's just say that I want to make like a trivia question having to do with the planet Mars. You know, this is Mars. It's the red planet. Everybody, well, hopefully everybody kind of knows what it looks like. But it's a cool red planet. So obviously I'm going to try to use a shape and maybe create like a little glow effect to go around it, kind of like this little line, a little glow effect going behind this little planet. You can kind of see, kind of like that. And then maybe I'll do it like a quick little animation on it, and maybe set that animation to continue, and play around with my animation timings to make it look like really cool. So I'm going to go insert, I'm going to say shape, and let's just say I want to use a basic shape for this thing. And you don't have to do this. You can use any planet you want, you can use any shape you want, you can use any effect you want. And this is why I said some of you guys who are creative are going to have an easier time with this. Alright, so click and draw. I have this nice color red already, but if I don't like that color red, I can go ahead and change it to a different color red. But I do kind of like that color red for my Mars. And then let's go ahead and do a shape effect. Let's add a glow to this thing. An outer glow to make it kind of look like a planet, like that. Okay? Now, if I wanted to put an animation on here to say, like, you know, spin this thing a little bit or something. Let's go to the emphasis category here, and you'll see spin. Okay? And let's see what that does. Cool. That's awesome. Now, let's open up my animation pane, because I don't want that spin thing to just kind of stop. Right now, if I play just this slide, first of all, I have to click for the animation to happen, and second of all, it stops, and I don't want that to happen. So let's play around with our animation and say, as far as animations go, or as far as clicking goes, let's say that we want it to go with previous, so that it actually starts when the slide comes in. Now, let's fix that stopping. Let's go to Effect Options, and let's go to Timing. Right now, you can see Repeat None. And if you click this, you'll see that you have repeat 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 10 times, until next click or until the end of slide. And let's click until the end of slide. I don't want to delay on it. I do want it to start with previous. Okay? And here you can see that you have different effect options. You can make it go clockwise, you can make it go counterclockwise, you can make it go different directions. You can give it a sound if you want. Some of the sounds are really lame, so I would kind of stay away from those sounds. And then go ahead and click OK. Alright, and let's play this now. There, so now you can kind of see my planet. It has this spinny kind of effect on it with this glow in the background. That's cool. That's cool. What I'm going to do now is try to kind of spruce up my shape a little bit and try to get some of these spots in there so that it actually looks like the planet Mars. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my text boxes and come up with a question and answer that has to do with the planet Mars. So there's my question text box. I'll go back to the Insert tab. Oh, the lag is real. Alright, go back to the Insert tab. Say text box. And down here, this would be my answer. And again, if I don't want to have to use the same animation, if I don't want to apply the animation again, come up here, click on this text box, go to your animation painter, click on your new slide, and go ahead and paint that new animation onto this text box. Probably easier after you actually get the question in there, because my text box just disappeared on me. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video for here. That's part 1. And make your shape and effect look really, really good. And don't be afraid to use shapes on top of shapes. That's probably what I'm going to have to do here to get my little dark circles here. I'm probably going to have to put little, maybe little circles in here and kind of paint it or fill it black or a grayish color, and kind of maybe roughen the edges up with a little shape effect or shape style. I'm not sure how I'm going to actually make it happen and make it look good, but tune in. Maybe in part 2 I'll have it done. Okay, but right now, this is my Mars. I have a little effect on there for a glow outline, and I have my animation repeating until the end of slide, so it kind of matches these over here. All right, be creative.